What is going on, everybody? Nick Costa here, and welcome to this video lesson on groove number 2 from the 8th note pattern section of the groove library from the Zildjian drum set method. This video is going to help you learn groove 2 from the 8th note pattern section of the groove library. Once you get a little more familiar with it, you're then going to see some examples on how you can change up how the dominant hand is played in order to help shape the groove. I'm excited to get into this with all of you, so let's get started. Alright, so just like the last video where I told you meat and potatoes of any groove in standard 4/4 time, you have the bass drum on 1 and 3 and the snare drum on 2 and 4. Yeah, so once you learn that groove, the next progression is to have the bass drum played on all 4 beats. So simply all you have to do is add additional bass drum hits to beats 2 and 4. This is also known as playing 4 on the floor, and it is extremely common when it comes to playing grooves. Alright, so let's go ahead and break this groove down. Once again, your dominant hand is headed over to the ride cymbal. Your non-dominant hand is going to be on the snare drum. So in order to play this groove, you are going to play the bass drum and the ride cymbal together on beat 1. You're going to play the ride cymbal by itself on the end of beat 1. You're then going to play all 3, ride cymbal, snare drum, and bass drum on beat 2. You're then going to play the ride cymbal once again by itself on the end of beat 2. Now once again, you're going to rinse and repeat for beats 3 and 4. So bass drum and ride cymbal together on beat 3, ride cymbal by itself on the end of beat 3, all 3 ride, snare, and bass on beat 4, and then finally the ride cymbal by itself on the end of beat 4. Now to get more familiar with this groove, let's take it nice and slow. Play along with me for the next 16 measures at 60 BPM. 1, 2, ready, and... Alright, so now that you've had the opportunity to try this groove out, let's go ahead and play one more time for 16 measures. This time we're going to up the tempo to 75 BPM. 1, 2, ready, and... Okay, so now that you've had that opportunity to play the dominant hand on the ride cymbal, it's time to move it over to the hi-hat. Now in this configuration, once again, you're going to play along with me for another 16 measures. This time, however, the tempo is going to be 85 BPM. 1, 2, ready, and... All right, so now that you've had that opportunity to play the dominant hand on both the hi-hats and the ride cymbal, it's time to start to experiment with how and where that dominant hand is played on the kit. Now this is the part of the lesson where you get to work on your improvisational and musicianship skills. And simply by changing up how you play that dominant hand and where you play that dominant hand, you're going to notice it helps shape the groove and just change up the sound a little bit. Now, although I want you to be creative and come up with your own ideas, here are just a few examples to get you started. I'm going to play the groove for 24 measures at 100 BPM. 1, 2, ready, and... All right, so to recap, in this video lesson, you learned groove number 2 from the 8th note pattern section of the groove library from the Zildjian drum set method. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, and either myself or someone from Zildjian will try and help out in any way that we can. And while you're here on the Zildjian Learning Zone, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification. That way you're notified of any additional content that gets uploaded to the channel. Finally, if you haven't done so already, I highly recommend that you check out the educational section of Zildjian's website. There you're going to find a ton of helpful content for either yourself or that drummer in your life progress in their drumming journey. And that is it. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hopefully you've gotten something from it. And until next time, see you later.